back to No Crime After Dark. Let me start that over.
What happened?
We just gonna edit this part out. Welcome back to No Crime After Dark, where we have to talk about crime in the daytime because one of the two of us is scary as hell. Hope y'all tuned in last week. We talked about the Bagby murders, a odd combination of happy and sad. That was a little different.
It was. It was sad what happened, but then happy.
The way it was put together. It was very nice.
Sweet, right, exactly.
Today though.
Just a little weird.
I think this is the realest y'all probably gonna hear us talk today. But anyway.
We need a thing that says beep, beep.
I know, for real. Because they might flag us. We're gonna try. We got it. Because watching it and taking notes, I was cussing at work watching this thing because there's just no way. But anyway,
yeah, me too. I was working and I was watching and I was just like, I was listening, and then I'm like, but why?
For what?
Girl, why? Like, why? Like,
who does that? Like, who tolerates that?
Exactly.
So today we talking about Darlene Inslee, our murderess is what they call them when it's a woman, our murderess, and Angela Parks.
Oh, I thought it was Parker. It's Parks?
I got Parks is what I found.
I wrote Park, but I don't know if it's Parker or Parks.
This story, you already know why this story was interesting to me from jump.
Because it's your home, or not hometown, but a town.
It's the second one. If I can't go to my hometown, I'm going there.
Yeah.
Because it's based in Omaha. Now, I'm going to say this at the very beginning of the video. I do not know either one of these women personally. I've been trying to figure out where that house is at. You should have seen me on MapQuest earlier, trying to see if I'd ever been in that area, which I'm sure I have, but just don't really remember because the street name, it's on 30th and Pinckney.
Yeah, and it said like North 30th. And
that's literally down probably no more than 10 minutes from my granny house.
Yeah.
So the area, like Pinckney in general, I'm familiar with, but 30th is like a main street. But I'm gonna say this now because some of our viewers and listeners are in Omaha. I do not know either one of these women personally. Mm-hmm. I am not here to offend anybody. This is my God's honest opinion. If you mad, all I can do is say stay mad because I got the information that I got
off the
internet and off of Fear Thy Roommate. But I'm making it very clear I don't know these people. They just happen to live in the same city that I grew up in. That's all. That's it. Okay. Now that we got that out the way. So the background sucked on this. It sucked.
Yeah. It
just started us right smack in the middle of their life.
Right. It was
we don't know when they was born.
Go ahead, and then I'm gonna tell you.
We don't know when they was born.
Nothing.
How many times they've been married?
We know kids on one side, but Darlene's side, but not on Angela's side.
Yeah, 3.
But I didn't see her kid, but I seen her niece. I'm like, I got a niece.
I'm gonna say this. We ain't even gotten to the story yet. We already rolling. If I have ever seen a city of people that believe in I ain't snitching, I ain't talking to the police, I ain't doing no interviews, Omaha is it.
They wouldn't make it on the first 48.
No.
They have no show over there.
You got that small percentage that would, because that's what they do is snitch.
Right, yeah.
But the grand majority, they are not.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that we don't have more information? Because them niggas like, that ain't my business.
That was on them.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. But anyhow, Darlene Inslee was born. She lived in Omaha. She had some kids.
Yeah.
She moved to Georgia. She was in Georgia for a while. And then she moved back to Omaha.
Right.
And that's where.
And that's all we know.
That's literally where the story picks up.
Yes.
So Darlene had just moved back to Omaha. Her daughter, Sasha, had just had a baby and she wanted to be closer to her grandbabies. So she moved back to Omaha. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to voice my strike one early on. I don't care if my mama had to sleep on my couch. And this is just my relationship with my mama. Because, yeah, I know. But I don't care if my mama had to sleep on the couch. If I'm not married, sleep in the bed with me. But my mama's staying with me. If I'm the closest relative, my mama's staying with me. So then y'all gonna see why. Anyway. So she moves back to be closer to her grandkids and her daughter. And she's not working, so she's on limited funds. Mm-hmm. I personally feel like maybe she was getting disability or something, because even for the situation that she was in, you got to have some kind of income.
Maybe she was unemployment. I mean, it could have been
something.
Anything.
She had to have some kind of income. And then this is considering Omaha will give just about anybody assistance. So she had to have some kind of income, though, to prove she could pay her portion of the bills. So she moves back to Omaha. She can't stay with her daughter. Her daughter's at capacity. So she has to find her own place. Mm-hmm. They don't specify where she was even staying at before she moved in.
No.
So like, where was she?
It made it seem like she came straight from Georgia, straight to this roommate situation.
Yeah, because I can't. I did some digging, and I couldn't find nothing. Like I said, they take no snitching seriously out there. But anyhow, she finds a place in a boarding house, which is at that time was pretty normal. I don't think they do them as much now as they did then. Mm-hmm. But she finds a boarding house.
What is a boarding house? What is this?
You don't know what a boarding house is? Mm-mm. You've never heard of a boarding house? Oh, it ain't no different than a halfway house.
Oh, okay.
It's a bunch of people living in one house, except for the halfway house. I don't think they pay rent. Whereas with the boarding house, you have multiple people living in one house that 9 times out of 10 don't even know each other when they first move in, and they're splitting the rent. So everybody, you're basically paying for the room, and then you all share the rest of the space.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So she finds a boarding house close to her daughter's house. It was right across the street, the way they made it seem. Mm-hmm. And in her case, she actually knew the person that was living there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it seemed like a good idea. That's no different than I move to Florida and I'm looking for somewhere to stay, and you living in a boarding house, and I happen to be looking. When it wouldn't turn out the same. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But we're also like consistently talking.
Yeah, so there's no way
they were friends prior. They just knew each other.
Yeah, so, true. So apparently they knew each other. They were cool back in the day before Darlene moved to Georgia. Mm-hmm. So when she goes to view the property, it's all cool. Like, okay, Angie, how you doing, girl? All right, thank you.
You like it here, I like it here. You think it's a good idea? You think it's a good idea.
So everything, I feel like in most roommate situations, it sounded good.
Yeah.
At least the roommate situations I've been able to witness and experience, it sounded good at first. Mm-hmm. They move in, everything is cool. Angela like, yeah, have at it, whatever you need to use a mind till you get on your feet. I got you. You need some soap? I got you. Need some shampoo? I got you.
Right.
You want to fry some chicken? As long as you fry me a couple pieces, I got you. And I'm going to let you take it.
Well, no, don't let me take it, because I don't know where the beef began. I just remember hearing that.
There's no definite. Okay.
Exactly. Like, there was no reason that the beef just started. I don't know if Angela put up this facade like, oh, I'm going to be nice to her to make her feel comfortable, and then tear her down, or
so
maybe Darlene
what frustrated
her man back in the day. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. What frustrated me is I understand the story was supposed to be based more around Darlene because she's the killer, but they could have gave us more background on
being that she was Angela was the aggressor.
Not just that, but the way they said, like, she was friends with everybody. She was known in the neighborhood as Angie B. Mm-hmm. She worked at a local bar. I wore my fingers and eyeballs out trying to figure out what bar she worked at to see if I knew somebody that might know her. And I ain't gonna tell you that I found her potential sister. on Facebook. And we got some mutual friends.
Okay, well.
But these are people that I don't even talk to for real.
Right, yeah.
So I can't just be like, hey, you know who Angie is?
I'm doing a podcast here and I want to know.
What does she do? But, and actually one of them is one of my cousins on my dad's side. That if I hit him up, it wouldn't be like out of the ordinary, but we really don't talk enough
to be asking him
for them. Like, well, why you want to know? You ain't ever asked about Angie B before,
right? This is years ago. Why the hell are you bringing this?
A long time ago.
I mean, you could just be like, "Hey, I watched this show," and
they didn't even specify what year she moved in. I just realized she just moved in.
So when I looked it up, Darlene was 2016, I think, when she was going to court, right?
Yeah, she killed her in 2016.
So I'm thinking maybe a year or two prior to that. I mean, because they said she wasn't living there that long before the lady started acting like a crazy person.
Okay, y'all, maybe we just pick horrible stories where they don't give us good background and much to research on.
We can't help it what we watch and that what we think is crazy. Like,
but my thing is you're usually able to find more background, like we know all of what happened with Andrew Bagby from birth till he got killed.
Well, that's because of Kurt. He did that.
Get you a Kurt, people.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back on track.
So Angela ended up start doing petty things. I guess she was annoyed with Darlene. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if Darlene messed with her man back in the day.
Because they said it was like a couple weeks in.
Yeah,
like
she started to say things like, didn't want her to eat her food or didn't want her to use her dishes. It was hiding the dishes in her room. So I can't use your spatula.
My thing is, as long as you cleaning up behind yourself, I don't care. And we just had this conversation recently.
Yeah.
About one of my parental units. And that parental unit had just bought a whole bunch of groceries and them Negroes was just like, nah, we ain't eating that. I said, when you move out, take it with you. Because I'm petty. Take it with you.
Yeah, I just don't understand. She just is really petty with this lady. I mean, just starting stuff for no reason. And I wish they would have told us like they had some type of beef or maybe this Angela lady had a mental illness or some type of, I don't know. Like, what is your problem? Like, who does this? And then it's the morning Darlene's checking the mail and the ex-roommate comes by and it's like, I
feel like this woman don't know you at all. From a can of paint, because you at the mailbox, like, who is you? Why are you at my mailbox? Oh,
and she's like, who are you? You need to be careful. Yeah.
So we done basically got y'all through the information we was given in the first like 10 minutes of this episode. Promise we're not skipping over anything. This is literally what we got.
Right.
And like I said, I was all over Google, YouTube, everywhere. I could not find anything else. So early on, Angie is on that bull. She don't want her using her stuff. She dogging her. Literally calling
bullying her.
Yeah.
In public at the bar, the karaoke.
Hold on. Wait, we ain't gonna get there yet.
Okay.
So let me see here. Sorry, y'all. So the roommate tried to warn her. Then we go into her hiding the dishes. So we skipped over a little bit. So they never say exactly what happened as far as what led to that. We just know that Darlene was using Angela's stuff, and a couple weeks in, Angela was tired of it. Now, the issue was they were already in their late 40s, early 50s.
Right.
And we all know at that age, it's hard to find a job. Like, once you get to a certain age, depending on the job you're applying for, ain't nobody really checking to hire you because they want somebody that's going to be there for a little while. So she didn't really have any skills, Darlene, and she's in an older age group. So it's just hard for her to find a job in general. Angela is pressing her. And in the meantime, talking about her looks, talking about her kids, like getting mad at her because she cleaning. That was what blew me. You're cleaning.
else to do, why are you here? Like, go get out, get a social life.
Listen
Like,
here, if you can't pay rent, the least you can do is clean
and cook.
Like, I mean, pull your weight some kind of way till you can get a job. So I don't see the problem with that, but that to me shows the character of Angela. Now, what I did find out is a lot of these altercations were alcohol fueled. So more often than not, one or both of them were intoxicated when this stuff was happening.
They probably were both. I feel like they probably were both, you know.
Yeah. So
I know that Darlene's daughter died, so she probably was drinking
overly.
Yeah, and then Angela clearly feel like she's, I don't know, it or whatever. So she's probably taking a drink or two. I don't.
She worked at a bar. I feel like that says all we need to know in terms of that. Because I remember cocktail waitressing. I left work buzzed many a day. When I used to work at the Marine base in San Diego at the day liquor store, same thing. So I know she was drinking on the job, is what I'm saying.
So I could see her, you know, thinking that she's something that she ain't, or living in past life. I don't know what she thinks she is.
So I found this out today because I was still trying to do some digging. It was 5 people living in that house at that time.
5 other people?
It was 5 people.
There
were 3 other people there besides them. So I have to kind of agree with you. Like, what did Darlene do to Angela back in the day for it? Because they said it was, I have the exact number. They said it was 3 women and 2 guys. So why was Darlene her target?
Why was she the target?
Right. I could see why she may not have gone after the men, just because you can't win that fight probably, but you had one other woman in that house.
Who to say she wasn't picking or doing petty stuff with the men? They just didn't, you know, they don't care like that. She don't bother them.
And let's be clear on the part, because I feel like we kind of glazed over this. Angela felt like that house was hers.
Because she was there the longest. And that's where, that's why I was like, wait, it's a boarding house, because the way she made it seem like that was her home, because I was here the longest, or, you know, I lived here first, and I'm thinking, maybe,
all 5 of them people living in there was paying one person, the same one person for rent. Nobody in there owned anything. They were, like I said, they're renting rooms, because Omaha has a lot of older houses, and those houses are ridiculously big.
Yeah, the house. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can have, between the basement, the main floor, and the upstairs, you can have anywhere from 3 to 6 bedrooms. And even if it's not a bedroom, you can make it into one.
Right.
So, because like my granny house, she has a basement, but she has at least 3 different spaces down there that she can turn into bedrooms. Outside of the main area, there's 3 spaces in her basement that she can turn into bedrooms, one of which she has. So, but yeah, and I'm with you. Like, did you sleep with her man?
Darlene did
steal some money from her. Like, what was so special about Darlene?
Yeah.
So 3 months later, and this is the timeline they're giving us, people. 3 months later, things start to get worse. And this is when, this ain't funny.
But you know, it's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. But it's weird that the mom, the daughter of Darlene, was just like, yeah, it's petty. And you know, I just thought,
and it was because Angela had no real reason, but go ahead.
Mind you, I personally would not have to defend Tanya. Tanya's going to defend herself. Ain't no woman going to try to defend.
Same for Mary.
Okay. But if your mom is not like Tanya, then
I don't think anybody's mom is like Tanya.
I'm just saying, don't you, if my mom, that's not Tanya, will come to me and say, you know, this woman at the house, she's bothering me. She's, not letting me use her dishes. And then the pettiness of me, like, okay, if I felt like I could not take her at my home, and she was so uncomfortable. You know, I couldn't take her in my home and she, you know, she was still able to live there. I would just go buy her own dishes and her own towels and her own and put her name on. You know, I would be petty.
Yeah, because my mama might not be that petty, but I am.
Exactly. But if I felt like my mom was like, she was like, I'm in danger, I'm not comfortable, then yes, I would just make a pallet. Somebody gonna make a pallet.
Like I said, we can share the bed. You can sleep on the couch. Get an air mattress. We'll figure something out.
Slide the dining room table over and get you an air mattress. And then when you up in the morning, roll that motherfucker up, and then you slide down. But I don't know. But I felt like the daughter was very nonchalant about, like, oh, you know, it's too. I just like.
Then part of me questions the depth of their relationship because she was so nonchalant for so long.
Like, were they that close?
Right.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that I questioned. So the part that I said wasn't funny, because this is going to come up more than
once. Angela's niece said that Auntie B or Auntie Angela, whatever she called her, was violent. She had a violent past. She was very aggressive or verbally aggressive. She did say that. So, I mean, I just, I don't have to worry about Tanya.
And what I didn't like is like how they said she would bully her. Allegedly, we got to remember to use that word. How she allegedly bullied her about like not wanting to be around, basically being socially awkward.
Or saying, oh, your kids don't want you.
Your daughter died to get away from
you, and that your daughters don't want to spend the holidays. The daughter even said, like, oh, yeah, we didn't come over for the holidays. But it's not even about you coming over. It's about her being invited. And I would say, even if you weren't, for instance, me and Tanya, we are not close. You know, I'm not going to I ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
But if my mom turned to me and said, I'm going to move to Florida and I'm going to try to do my best to get myself together. And if she's going to try, I'm going to try. I'm not going to just.
You gotta give people the benefit of the doubt at least.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's your mom. Tanya's my mama. Whether I like it or not, she's my mama. Like
my mom used to tell me that all the time about my dad, because you know how that used to be, and that was always my mom's thing. Like, that's still your daddy. I ain't saying he right, but that's still your daddy. But people got their own parental situation, so I never expect anybody to feel like I feel. But I just feel like if she was gonna move across the street anyway, she might as well just stay with me, because you're still gonna be at my house more often than not.
And if you're gonna come, and I'm not gonna have a party or a gathering and not invite
and not at least invite you, whether you show up or not.
Whether you show up or not, that's on you.
Right.
But Angela wouldn't be able to use it against you and say, your daughters don't want you. Yes, she did. Yeah. I didn't want to go. Like, that's
my mom and dad would be so sick of me if we still lived in the same city. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they'd be so sick
for sure. Jim, like, I'm done with this shit. Aida, don't call my phone. I'm right here.
They'd be so sick of. They were probably sick of me when I was in San Diego before, because you know I was always at Ron's house. But so I'm just using governments anyway.
Right. We're sorry, y'all. They'll never find Tanya.
It's really Tanya. We're sorry, Tanya.
They'll never find her. You can look up all the time you want. You ain't gonna find Tanya. Tanya ain't it. And don't come for her either, because she gonna be with it. I'm just letting y'all know now.
So 4 months into the situation, Darlene is starting to realize
it's not getting
it. This ain't what I thought it was gonna be. So this is the part that I keep saying is not funny, but I can't lie, I cackled every time. So this is when Sasha decided, hey, Mom, I'm finna get you out the house. It seemed like y'all got a lot of friction going on. So come with me. We finna go out. We finna have a girls' night. So they go to karaoke night. Just so happens Angela's at the same bar. Omaha is this big, bro. North Omaha is this big. So it's not hard at all, which is why there's only one spot in North Omaha I will entertain as far as like going out to a bar or something. And I'm not even finna say the name out loud because it's already too many of y'all in there. But there's only one spot in North Omaha that I would entertain. Anything else, I'm out west. I don't even go downtown no more because it's just ridiculous. But it's not hard to run into somebody that you don't want to see or somebody you got beef with. In their case,
right.
yeah, in their case, it's worse because they live together. So now you can't even get away from this person when you out. So, they go out karaoke night. The way they portrayed it, because again, we don't know exactly how things
what
went.
happened.
Just like immediately started going in on Darlene, just blasting her
because she was her friends.
Yeah, she was with her friends
doing karaoke or whatever,
and talking about how she looked, going in on her about her kids again, just the whole night. It was just bull the whole night, as far as we know from how Angela treated Darlene that night. They get back home because again, they live together. You can't get away from this hoe. Excuse me, where is this gas coming from? Anyway, they get home and they immediately start arguing. Right. Angela goes in like, oh, your kids didn't even think enough of you to invite you over and blah, blah, blah. So then Darlene was like, well, I mean, when was the last time you talked to your son, though? Yeah. I don't even call you, though. This nigga don't even check on you, though. Right. So how you going in on me about my kids? This is where I might be going to hell a little bit. Okay. They started fighting. And Angela took a can of somebody's canned goods and threw it at Darlene and cracked her in the face and left a gash on her face. And not that wasn't bad enough.
Sigh, don't laugh at Darlene's pain. She was being bullied.
I'm trying not to. If that wasn't enough, Angela hit this woman with a skillet, y'all. A skillet. This is where it goes into, it should have ended here. It should have not gone any farther than this particular moment. Yeah. As a child, as an adult, as a human being, it would have stopped right here.
I agree. And then when I look at the picture of Darlene, she looks a little rough. So I'm like,
I don't like how they portrayed her.
They made her seem like she was soft, like some type of punk.
Oh my gosh, because it ain't even just the way they made like her. I could see her maybe being non-confrontational, but they made it seem like she was just a straight punk.
Right, like she just was helpless. Like she didn't defend herself not one bit.
No, I don't like how they made her look in Fear Thy Roommate either. Because that hair, girl. But anyway.
I mean, it wasn't too far off in the picture. But anyways, yeah. It was the taking her glasses so she can't see.
I took that personal. I took that personal.
I was like, Angela is a real mean girl. Like she's mean.
Every time we just got done talking about how I hate this glare that goes into my glasses from my laptop screen, from my ring lights, and there's nothing I can do about it. I cannot see without my glass. I can see, but I ain't gonna be looking at the camera. I'm gonna be down here.
Yeah.
Trying to see what this says.
I felt like that was
cruel. That was
cruel. It was.
So apparently Darlene had poor vision. She wasn't completely blind, but was probably legally blind for all we know. But she has poor vision. Angela would turn off, not just turn off the lights, take the light bulbs out.
So it's pitch dark. It's dark.
She can't hit a switch, flick, or nothing. And then move the furniture around so Darlene would, for Angela intentionally, fall over and just tearing herself up. But where the line would have been drawn at the can and the skillet. I have been in living situations, Tanya being one of them, since we already put her out there. I have been in living situations where I had to check myself and keep myself in line based on what my situation was at the time. There's no way and you know how respectful I try to be of my elders. You know that.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Had your mama hit me with a can of anything or anybody's skillet, I'd have said, I'm sorry, Todd. And it just would have been what it was after that.
I would have been like, lady, I would have been like, I would have let my Tanya hit with a can or a skillet. I don't know,
It's just like, you got to draw the line somewhere. Like, I understand she probably felt like, well, I don't have nowhere else to go. So I just I'm, you know me, my pride to get the best of me every time. I will live in a box on a corner before I deal
with the person that's gonna bully me.
No, and I don't like bullies in general.
Like,
I never have.
Are we in a relationship with just domestic violence? You just like, what the hell? Like, what? No.
My biggest thing is if we ain't hunching, I ain't dealing with that much off of you.
Yeah, I'm not.
I had that thought though. I'm not gonna shine.
That you thought they were hunching? I mean,
because that's a lot of drama.
Like she could be a little out there.
Both of them kind of did. Mm-hmm. It's just like that's a lot of drama for nothing.
Yeah.
Like something had to be going on or something had to
tell us all of it. And it's like, why don't you tell us the information we need to know? Because there's just no way this Angela's just bullying this girl. And Darlene just saying, oh, it's okay.
Discovery ID, hear us out. Just hear us out.
Right. It don't matter. Give us the information.
Can we get a little bit more information next time?
Questions.
Because seriously, again, I know why they didn't get the information on this one. Because
I didn't either.
You can put a stamp on a state that believes or a city that believes in no snitching, Omaha, because that's what it is. I know why they couldn't get no information because wasn't nobody finna do an interview.
Yeah, because the niece and the daughter was so generic, like just
they were very vague. Because I know way more transpired than that. They were very vague.
Yeah, and the niece is just like, yeah, she had an anger problem. She's very abusive, like verbally abusive. Yeah, she could be a little rough around the edges, and she actually got her shirt from Dee Dee's own ID.
I got this shirt from Dee Dee's.
You not on ID.
Okay, well, what's wrong? Wait a minute. If you kill somebody and I gotta do an interview, I might dress this shirt up.
No, you better look your best when you do an interview. If I murder somebody,
I mean, I'm gonna get my face gonna be.
You better sit there and be like,
face gonna be beat, fresh, sad, hair good. But you're gonna get this
DD
shirt.
I know what happened with my.
You gonna get this DD shirt though.
Yo, I don't. You better
bring this DD's.
You better bring something else. Paul, take you because Paul know where to go.
First of all, we would have never made it to ID because once she threw that can at you,
I just don't understand it. And then I it's just like it's all just confusing. Like it just don't make sense. It's like,
and we're trying to stay in order. We really are, but this story is just so mind-boggling.
It don't make sense to me.
And unnecessary because it's anyhow.
Like children, like Mean Girls, just like
no, really, it was definitely giving high school.
Yeah, like I was saying, Darlene must have messed with one of Angela's men back in the day. I'm telling you, and she's just mad about it.
I wish Angela was still living because I need to know.
But now you didn't told them Angela dead. We ain't even got there yet.
They knew Angela was dead when we started because I said Darlene was the killer. They knew that.
You didn't say that. Well, Angela dead.
She gone, y'all. But anyway, we're gonna get up to how she ended up dead. Because we hitting the halfway mark on our time. So she done got cracked in the head with a can and a skillet. And basically it just goes straight to from that point. It didn't get any better. Like
no, just more hitting.
We're literally repeating the same thing.
She's just abusive to her, like physically abusive to her for no reason. So
it continued. The night we did skip over that part. The night that she got hit in the face with the can and the skillet, and I'm gonna stop saying it like that.
Yes, you're making me laugh, and I'm trying not to laugh. I'm like over here, like, please don't laugh at the can and the skillet. And as I said, you're not gonna let it go, are you?
You said we're gonna be ourselves, right?
You did say that, and we do find can and skillets funny, obviously. I'm
wrong, y'all. I so ridiculous to me.
It is.
I'm sad for lives lost, but this stressed me out.
And maybe the niece and the sister and the daughter was so vague about it because they know more. And I mean, did they watch this documentary and did they say, well, that's not?
Even in my research, even the family, like Angela's family, they weren't upset. Like from what I read and gathered, they weren't really angry. They were a lot more forgiving than I probably would be.
But they knew their
sister, Angela's sister was kind of the spokesperson for the family. And she's just like, I'm gonna pray for them. Like all we can do is pray at this point. And I feel like that comes from being honest about who the person was. They chose not to talk about everything, which is fine, but they also didn't portray it as though she was the same. Like she she was a people person, but that doesn't mean she was a nice person, basically. So Darlene ends up getting charged with felony assault, was it?
Yeah, she flipped the script. She ended up calling the police.
Yes, Darlene called the police on Angela. She put her Angela cried wolf so good.
I'm about to win this award-winning Oscar here. I'm about to put it on. Help me. She's crazy. This woman is crazy in this house.
She hit the rose from Titanic on him.
I tried to help her. I tried to let her live here in my house that I've been living here the longest.
And it ain't my house, but it's my house.
But it's my house.
It's 5 of us living here, but it's my house.
Been bullying me and attacking me. So Darlene goes to jail.
So she sits for 3 days. She gets charged with felony assault.
Yes.
Some time goes by. The same stuff is going on. Like I said, it seems like
it wasn't even like. I mean, it made it seem like it was not even that much longer. It was like maybe a week or something.
3 weeks is what I had. So 3 weeks is all that went by. And Darlene's just like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. So she gets a restraining order. Now, I personally feel like that was a waste of everybody's time, but she got a restraining order. Mm-hmm. No, first she tried to contact the landlord. And the landlord was like, ain't my business. As long as you don't tear up my house, I ain't got nothing to do with it.
I don't care. Who's fighting who?
Right. Just pay your rent on time.
But then he must have, or she must have called Angela to warn her or make her aware that Darlene was wanting her out of the house or was afraid or whatever the case may be, because now Angela's checking Darlene about this phone call, which made more drama.
We're trying to get through this because it's literally repetitive, y'all. It's repetitive. Like she kept just the way they portray it, and
there was no stopping. Like if she just
kept at her. And a person can only take so much. I don't care how nice you are, how passive you are, how non-confrontational you are. A person can only take so much.
Right.
So Darlene gets this restraining order. And of course, when a restraining order is filed, the other person is notified. That's just the process.
Yeah.
So then Angela gets notified. So now Angela then got a restraining order on Darlene. Again, high school, because we live in the same house. Hello. So what are we restraining from?
What are we gonna do? Stare from my door? Don't meet me in the kitchen. You cannot be in the kitchen and say, I mean, y'all live together. So what is the point?
And I'm gonna say what need to be said. Sasha ain't about nothing. I don't care.
I agree.
Sasha ain't about nothing.
I agree.
I don't care what the circumstances were when she first moved out there.
Sasha.
That's the daughter's name that was doing the interview and said she didn't have a space.
Which one is the daughter that passed away?
They didn't give a name.
Oh, okay. I thought her name was, maybe I was.
No, Sasha is the daughter that's still living, to my knowledge, till this day, and was the daughter that said she didn't have the room for her to move in. And again, I don't know what the circumstances were when she first got there, but after the can and skillet situation and all of that, and your mama had to sit in jail, and now she got charges, and now she worried about being able to find a job because she got these charges pending. And like just everything is all haywire. And
I mean,
you still did nothing to
right.
even if she couldn't stay with you, you didn't do anything, at least from what we can see and how the story is told and how you told it.
But I mean, even in the show, she never said, "Well, I did try to talk to Angela."
But that's what I'm saying. How she told it, because she was on the show. She did the interview based on how she told it. You were taking it lightly at first, then you kind of started to see it was getting real, but you still didn't do anything to try to help put your mom in a better position. And again, like I said, Omaha, of all the cities I have lived in, and I've lived in a few, all the cities that I have lived in, I can honestly say they might drag their feet about it. Like with me, they drug their feet because I ain't got no kids. I'm a single, at the time, single adult. So I can see why they wasn't in a hurry to give me no assistance. But her mom being the age that she was, Darlene being as old as she was, because she was 48 at the time.
Yeah.
Being as old as she was, pending what her actual situation was, because again, we don't have much on her background. Omaha she qualified for something. Now she might have had to stay in the projects for a little bit, but she qualified for something.
Yeah.
And at that time in 2016, a lot of the projects were still standing because they done burned down a couple. When I say burned, I mean the city came in and burned them down. And then and built something.
They didn't use one of those wrecking ball things?
No, they didn't come in like a wrecking ball. They set it on fire. But what I will say about this one of the particular projects, they needed to, because the infestation of roaches, that was the only way they was gonna be able to read.
But now the roaches is going to somebody else's house.
I mean, it ain't in them apartment, because they got it nice. Like they got some like downtown San Diego off type apartments over there. You know, gentrification is real. So yeah, that's what's over there at that particular apartment complex right now.
Yeah, Sasha did what she needed to do.
Yeah, she didn't. Like I said, and like you said, you and your mom don't have the best relationship, but you're not about to just first of all, nobody's going to bully Tanya, but you're not gonna just let
the bully.
Right. If she was more timid, you're not gonna let, just regardless of what your relationship is, you ain't about to just be beating up and bullying on my mama. So I'm gonna put it out there, Sasha, no disrespect, but a little disrespect. This could have been avoided.
We're judging you and your daughter's skills. Like, I mean, you didn't need a job. Like that's
and especially being that close to the situation. I could see if it was a situation like me and my mom, or even you and yours. We're in different states. We on complete opposite sides of the country. But you're across the street, essentially.
Across the street, round the corner.
A couple blocks away. We don't know.
Yeah.
So we got restraining orders now, and we live in the same house. Again, I don't know how that works, but that's what they did. We just gonna get to the nitty-gritty now, because again, we would just be repeating the same scenarios. I'm not gonna laugh this time, but Darlene got hit in the head with a skillet more than once. I'm gonna just say that. Don't you laugh.
No. So anyways, then Darlene ended up stabbing. Are you laughing? End up stabbing.
Wait, we got to get into it.
Okay, well, stop laughing. Darlene's pain.
I'm not laughing.
She has a headache.
You know, look, that's why I got to say it. I'm not laughing. This is not funny. It's just
unbelievable. It's just
I just feel like it's, honestly, my God's honest opinion, it's sad because it could have been avoided. It on both parts, because I don't believe wholeheartedly, I don't believe Angela was all at fault. And I do feel like Darlene participated more.
Oh, I totally agree. And maybe that's why Sasha was so like, Mom, I know you're over there talking crap.
Yeah, like it wasn't a big deal at first.
Right, and maybe that's why. I just don't feel like she's as guilty as innocent as they're trying to portray her. But at the end of the day, nothing should have led up to the situation. Like it's crazy. It's
so this is the final fight. We don't know again what caused this fight to transpire, but Angela was not happy about something Darlene was doing. We got better stories. I hate this. About something Darlene was doing, Angela didn't like it. They get to arguing. It gets physical. Angela's getting the best of Darlene. Darlene is able to get away. She takes off into her room and locks herself in the room. I feel like, well, no, that's when she called the police because she smacked her in the face with a skillet before she ran up to her room. Mm-hmm. She calls the police because they've been called out so many times, and I'm calling out specifically North Omaha's police department. Y'all are garbage. Y'all are trash. Y'all the only people that ain't gonna get no apologies in this whole video podcast, depending on what you watching and listening to, you're garbage because they got this thing out there. Oh, well, we've already been out there so many times for the same thing. They just argue and they just this, they just that. Okay. If y'all would have showed up at 9:00 and did what you were supposed to do, because they did show up, but they did nothing. If y'all would have showed up and did what y'all was supposed to do based on the track record that these two women had, because you have been to this house multiple times for the same situation, instead of making one go this way and one go that way, because both of them got a restraining order, so somebody got to go. Instead of making one go this way and one go that way, hey, Hustle. Sorry for y'all that's just listening. The dog just popped up. But anyway. But no, instead of separating them, at least for the night.
Yeah.
Y'all were just like, all right, y'all chill out. Bye.
You go to your, can you have somewhere to go? Please go over there. Just chill out. Relax. Let's calm down.
I don't like to pull the race card very often unless I absolutely have to.
Don't do it.
I'm going to do it. North Omaha Police Department, y'all don't show up for nothing. Nothing unless somebody's dying or dead. And I'm going to call a spade a spade. They knew what they needed to do, and because they deemed it not important enough, and that's because I've had a personal run-in with them that I'm still upset about to this day.
Okay.
Because my apartment got broken into that I had with my cousin. Mm-hmm. They basically was like, well, we got other stuff to do. And we hadn't even moved in a full 24 hours, and somebody kicked our door in.
They got other things to do.
And they're right down the street, though. Like, you know where my belongings used to be in San Diego, and where the police department is on Imperial?
Yeah.
About that, I would say more like my maybe your granny house to the police department on Imperial.
Okay.
That's how far it was. Y'all can't send nobody, just nobody. Y'all ain't nobody on duty right now.
Nope. Not for robberies.
Specifically North.
We are on call for murders, shootings.
And that's it. And maybe every now and then the child abuse stuff. That's debatable, but still. But specifically 30th the names, police department. I'm saying it.
Okay.
I'm saying it. I don't care.
Okay.
Y'all are garbage. But anyhow, that was a personal moment. This had absolutely nothing to do with the story.
You don't like them police.
No, because that's stupid to me. That's no different, in my opinion, like a domestic violence situation.
No, I agree.
Like, you're getting your boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, depending on your preference, are constantly having these physical altercations. The police are constantly having to be called out, and this is why we see some of the cases we see, and people end up dead or damn near.
Yeah.
So they come out at 9. They dismiss it.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly 50 minutes later, they get another phone call from the same household, from the same Darlene.
Mm-hmm.
And they come back.
How Darlene's the one that calls every time.
Every time. They come back and they knock on the door, and Darlene comes out with a bloody knife. Apparently, while she was locked in that room, Angela was banging on that door. Mm-hmm. Angela eventually stopped banging on that door, so now Darlene trying to check if the coast is clear.
Yeah.
Darlene got to the point where she had to start keeping a knife under her pillow because Angela was apparently just so random with the bullying.
Right. Just all the time, any hours, don't matter, day, night. She just was always trying to attack her and then I didn't know all these people lived in the house. No one tried to defend her or say like, no, dude, like, this is too much.
Omaha is that ain't my business.
Yeah, but it's our home that we live in.
As long as you ain't in my room.
Nodding me like he's
messing with my stuff. I don't care.
I mean, I guess
that is very much, like I said, the grand majority. Like I said, you got them couple few that will snitch, whatever. But
it's not about snitching. You don't have to be like, let me call the police on
if it don't involve you, they not getting into it.
But how comfortable is the home with these two beefing all the time, fighting, hiding dishes, hitting people with.
You not fighting me. You not hiding my business.
Insane.
You not messing. But see, this is why y'all be wondering why I'm just a little rugged around the edges sometimes. That's why, because it's very much mind your own, find your own. That's really what it is. Like, if it don't directly affect you, people talk. You're gonna get gossip and shit, but those other three people probably outside of just having to hear it. And I agree, because like if I'm trying to sleep at 2:00 in the morning and y'all in here bickering, I'm definitely finna
I have to pee so bad.
I just want y'all to know. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. This is awkward.
Those truly were sitting on my bladder.
Why did you go pee before we started recording?
I'm sorry.
I gotta figure out how to cut out that whole section and make it flow into the next part.
Okay. You said go back. I'm so sorry. It was like right there. Right there. It was right there.
If I can't figure out how to cut this out, we're gonna have to completely re-record this shit.
I know what you were saying.
It's not about knowing what I was saying. I got to figure out how to cut it out and flow into the next part.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I was going to get myself. I felt it coming out.
Okay, so I'm going to pick up what I can remember.
Okay.
So, exactly 50 minutes later, the police departments get another call from the same household, from the same Darlene. When they show up to this house, this time, Darlene is coming outside with a bloody knife. So apparently, while Darlene was locked in that room, Angela's banging and beating on the door, probably threatening her, whatever. Eventually, all of that stops, and Darlene comes out to check if the coast is clear. So she comes out naturally. Angela then turned off all the lights, took out all the light bulbs, and moved the furniture. She's stumbling and tripping over herself. And eventually Angela starts beating on Darlene again.
But that's what I was saying. Like, there's 3 other people that live in this house. No one's willing to help. No one's like, this is uncomfortable for me to watch this woman get bullied. Like, there's no type of, chill out. Stop bullying this woman. Stop picking on this woman. Why are y'all doing this?
I told you, Omaha is very mind your own, find your own.
I get it. I get what you're saying. But not one person got a little bit of heart to say, this ain't okay. And everyone's home. And I guess, like I said, it's one thing when it's at a job and you leave, for the day, you like to decompress. But we are home. Like, this is our home. This is like our peace.
I'll say this about most, because again, I don't even think they have boarding houses out there like that now. But because gentrification is real. Like
Yeah.
that whole area is being turned into something else now. But at that time in 2016, a lot of those boarding houses, if we're going to be real, was for people that just didn't have a stable enough lifestyle to have their own space.
So basically just close the door. It's
either
not
drug addicts, ex-drug addicts,
okay.
ex-alcoholics, just they made just enough money. They had just enough income to pay for that room every month. Because you got to think, if the rent, you got 5 people living in there, $1,500 a person, and they probably wasn't even paying that much per person.
Right.
But still, because I would say per room, they might be paying a month $300 or $400. Yeah, you can scrounge up $300 or $400 in a month.
Yeah, you can.
So, and you can do that collecting cans and recycling. So, yeah, but in those kind of situations, saying those or assuming those were the kind of people that was living there, they definitely not trying to get involved in nothing else. Like a lot of people that lived in boarding houses had records. So if I'm on my second strike, hey, just go make it.
Right.
Yeah. I guess so. And that's just the reality of a boarding house in most cases. Because like I said, it's no different than a halfway house.
But also too, like if you have a record and you've been in trouble, it's like, where do you want to change and become this good person? Like, where does that come in? To watch someone get bullied over. But again, I don't feel like Darlene was as innocent as they portrayed her. I mean, they could have been like, what up?
I feel like Angela might have been a bully, but there's definitely an underlying issue. Because you don't just go off on a person like that in a couple.
No, they definitely she either had a beef that Darlene didn't know about, or
those are the worst. Because why are you even mad?
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyhow, Darlene came out the house with a bloody knife. And she's, in the words of her niece, Darlene said she didn't know what else to do.
She had to defend herself.
Be it she was timid, be it she was not, be it she had part in it, be it she didn't. You not finna just keep hitting me.
I can't keep taking your abuse.
I can't and I won't. No. So,
and if
everybody has a break.
If you're holding me down, if you're beating me up, and my only way to survive is to stab you, then that's just what's gonna happen. I mean, like, I'm not mad at Darlene.
It's having to sleep with a knife under your pillow because you don't know what this person is gonna do.
In your own home. In your own home.
Only time I sleep with weapons is when he's not here. That's literally the only time I sleep with weapons. I don't feel the need to protect myself from somebody I live with. Never have.
No.
I've never been like, I cannot like you. We cannot talk to each other.
But I never felt like
I've never felt like in any living situation I've been in, Tanya included, I've never felt like I got to sleep with a weapon at all times because I don't know what you're going to do.
I agree.
That's never been me.
No.
So they didn't have to do a lot of investigating.
No.
Darlene did it. She admitted it. She like, look, I didn't know what else to do. Like, the bitch just keep coming at me, and just every day she coming at me.
Let her continue, right?
And I don't believe she intended to kill her.
Kill her, yeah.
She just get off me. Like, I can't keep doing this,
right?
And I honestly believe, because like I said, I don't think Darlene is innocent.
No,
but I do believe. How am I gonna say this without sounding like a jerk? I don't believe she was innocent.
Been laughing at the pot in the can all day, all night. So you're gonna come off like a jerk.
If y'all knew me personally, y'all would know why I think that's hilarious. But anyway, because as many times I've thought of hitting somebody with a skillet, I've never done it. It's just like people actually do this is what cracks me up. But I don't think Darlene was innocent, but I definitely feel like she was afraid for her own safety. And that's why I don't believe she was trying to kill her in that moment. And that's the thing about having weapons when you get in a fight. Yes, protect yourself. But in the heat of the moment, while you're just trying to protect yourself, you don't know what protecting yourself can result in. Keep your pepper spray, keep your knives. If you like
that, Shaniqua shouldn't be trying to attack me if she know I'm defending for my life. So don't leave me the F alone.
We never really had those problems. So anyway,
that one lady slapped the hell out of me that one time. I don't know. She didn't know I was Tanya's daughter.
She slapped you so hard, I was hurt. I was
wow. God, lady. It's crazy. Who slapped somebody like this?
It was the audacity of my husband getting mad because I helped fight. I jumped in the fight. I was like, what was I supposed to do? Yeah. You didn't see how she hit her.
The dog crap out of me. My gosh. It's like, ma'am.
Oh, Lord.
But Darlene only did a few years. She
was looking at up to 20 years. Mm-hmm. She only ended up serving about 3 years.
Yeah.
She was released on August 21st of 2020, so she just got out. Mm-hmm. A couple years ago. She was incarcerated on. It was in 2016. I don't have an exact.
I think it was like June something 2016.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because she got the first incident happened in April. Mm-hmm. She killed her in May, and that was all in 2016.
Yeah, it was June something that she went in.
Yeah. So she was released on parole on August 21st of 2020 after serving about 3 years. And then she has to serve the rest of her sentence in Omaha until on probation. Now,
but in this case, it was self-defense.
I can see that.
Yep,
I can see that. I'm gonna just keep telling myself I can see that. And I'm going to keep saying that because it shouldn't have gone farther than the first.
No, it shouldn't have. Yeah, I agree.
I feel like if you were questioning before that whether or not this is a good living situation, that moment was defining enough for everybody involved. Anybody that had to show up for anything, anybody that had to mediate for anything. That moment is when somebody, if not all of y'all, should have been like, all right, this ain't gonna work.
No, I agree. It could have been prevented. I'm not saying that. But when you're trying to convince a jury of self-defense, you literally have to be defending yourself.
And but again, that goes back to, I feel like both sides are fully aware. Speaking of the families, both sides are fully aware of who those people actually were. Which is why we don't have that much background
information.
Which is why they were so vague during the interviews.
Yeah.
Because Sasha knew her mama wasn't all the way screwed tight. And Angela's niece knew she wasn't all the way screwed tight.
Yeah.
And everybody knew they both apparently had a drinking problem. So we'll never know the whole story. And again, I'm going to reiterate, because I got some editing to do. I'm going to reiterate. For my Omaha people specifically, this is my personal opinion. I have no more information than most of y'all do unless y'all are related to these people.
To them.
So don't come for me. Don't be inboxing me. Don't do none of it.
Please don't inbox the girl.
Please don't. Just don't. Because this is just something. This is my thing. This is our thing.
I mean, we do about everybody. It ain't just you.
Because I've been looking for some in San Diego because I want to talk about them too. So
I seen a good one the other day I have to tell you about.
It's one that happened on my birthday out there that I have.
And then that one I was telling you, the one in Oceanside.
I think that's the one that happened on my birthday.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway, we got some stories for y'all. That's just be excited about that. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this short because we are well over our hour.
Well, because you're gonna
Yeah, I gotta edit because your coworkers just can't always get themselves together.
Jesus.
Anyhow, I didn't do it at the beginning of the video because I feel like I'm overwhelming y'all with all the social medias we got going on. But if you enjoyed tonight's episode, definitely check us out here on YouTube, No Crime After Dark. Instagram, No Crime After Dark _podcast. TikTok, No Crime After Dark. And because Twitter is stupid, X Crime After Dark. Or No Crime After Dark, sorry. Because they got a 15 character minimum.
Right. Yeah,
so X as in no. Crime After Dark on Twitter.
Yeah.
And Facebook, we have a public like page, No Crime After Dark, and also a group where we have discussions. I need y'all to get in there so we can actually have some discussions. Give us your opinions, what you feel like we could do better, what we need to take away from, what we need to do more. Even if you have suggestions on stories you would like to hear us talk about, definitely let us know. We are open to positive criticism. Don't.
I mean, you can give your negative criticism too, but
no, I'm not like that. Let me be clear. Constructive criticism.
Too.
Let me say that. Constructive criticism. But don't be rude about it.
Be rude if you want to.
And that's why I'm in charge of the Facebook page.
See, then I log in.
What?
Now I gotta log in.
Yeah, now she gotta log in. She don't even do social media. Now she got to leave a comment. So we are here for constructive criticism, but please be respectful. Just that's all we ask. Just get your point across, and we will definitely take it into consideration and try to apply it. But
and Darlene, if you hear us, stay out of trouble. Don't live with no crazy ass roommates. Okay?
And I am not taking joy in what you went through, Darlene.
No, we're not.
I'm really not.
Not that I feel like people watch this, but just in
have
case.
A morbid sense of humor.
Right. We, we're sorry you had to go through that, and please stay out of trouble. And
nobody deserves that.
No.
Nobody deserves that.
I agree.
And something like I ended my last one when I told y'all not to date crazy people. Don't move in with crazy people. Even if you knew them from, especially if you knew them from back in the day and y'all ain't talked to them forever. Don't move in with crazy people. But you want to add anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Until next time, we'll see y'all next week.